we have a man, when he's done at Baylor, he'll have not 1, but 2 degrees. A man, if you were to take his blood and test what kind of blood he had, he would test football. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man that is Skyler Wetzel.
JD.
What's up,
Drake,
boss?
how's it going, guys?
Let's go. Welcome into Up Tempo, baby.
Man, it's my pleasure. I'm glad to be here. I'm a fan of the show, fan of y'all's work. Great to catch up with you, JD.
Thanks, Skyler. Great to see you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
You look good. You've been lifting
I
weights?
appreciate that. You're looking great too, man.
It's a tight shirt.
Yes, sir.
Skyler, how are you feeling? Obviously, you played under Aranda and Coach Rule. I mean, we've heard it ad nauseum from different players, but what's your take? How are they different?
Well, I think I could go at length at that question, but I mean, they're both tremendous coaches. I've learned so much just from both of them. I'm a huge fan of both of them. I was blessed to, play for both of them and be able to learn just so much from both of them. It'd be hard to put into words. Coach Rule's just got such a strong personality, such a charismatic leader, such a cerebral leader. He knows football. He knows the game. He knows how to develop players. And Coach Aranda's the same. He's extremely cerebral, extremely smart. He's a great leader. He communicates his vision very well. They're both tremendous coaches. It'd be hard for me to tell. I'm sure y'all have been able to interview both of them and see both of them work with the media. And they've obviously got differing personalities, but they're both extremely effective coaches. They're good at what they do, and they're in the positions that they are right now because of how good at their jobs they are. So I respect both of them, respect the heck out of both of them. And I'm glad I've gotten to play for both of them and learn from both of them. So it's been great.
Skyler, you got to not just play for 2 really good head coaches, but a couple different position coaches bouncing around and playing in different spots on the football field. What was that like for you to find yourself in multiple different position rooms with different guys and really get a full feel for the team as a whole?
Well, it was a blessing, to be quite honest. Wanting to coach in the future and hopefully entering into the profession here in the next few months once I graduate, I'll look back at this time here at Baylor and at my time at Tarleton State, being at different positions and being in different rooms with different coaches, as with my time here at Baylor with this staff and with the past staff, and really look at it as a blessing because I've been able to learn so much on both sides of the ball. I've been able to learn multiple different positions, multiple different systems, multiple different offensive and defensive philosophies from multiple coaching staffs, multiple coordinators. And so it's given me a different perspective for sure. I think, being a player and being in those rooms it was a great perspective and a great experience. And I've learned a lot just, post-retirement, just in the past month or so, just being able to break down some film and things like that, looking at it from more of a coach's perspective, at being a future coach. And I can say that it was a true blessing to be able to, work under Coach Nixon, under Coach Roberts, under Coach Pallage, and various different people, Coach Rule and, Coach Snow. So I've learned a tremendous amount that I'm very thankful for.
And tell us a little bit about your journey to Baylor, because I know it was a little bit unique. You and I were a grad transfer class of 2.
That's right.
Talk to me about what that was like, because it was almost destiny for you to end up at Baylor. Yeah. Tell the people about that.
Yeah. So I graduated in 2016 in high school, San Antonio Reagan High School. Shout out to 210. And then I got a scholarship offer from Tarleton State, which was a Division II school in the Lone Star Conference out of high school. I wanted to play offense going into high school, going into college. They were the only school that offered me as a running back, and so I took that offer. I went to go play for Coach Witten, and the offensive coordinator there was Coach Mason Miller, who's now the offensive line coach at Mississippi State. So I was blessed enough to be able to learn from them as well. I graduated early from Tarleton in 2019 with my undergrad degree.
Yeah.
And then grad transferred here to Baylor, thankfully. Got the opportunity. Coach Roll gave me the opportunity, and I jumped at it because this is my dream school, and I've been dreaming about, playing here and hopefully being a part of this program somehow in some sort of capacity for as long as I can remember. And for Coach Rule to give me that opportunity, and for my dad to be here as well, it's been a really special experience, and I'm blessed, and God definitely had a better plan for me than I ever could have had for myself, and got to meet great guys like you, man. I've made some great friends, made some great connections, and we got to come in as grad transfers together and made some memories, and it was a great time.
Appreciate you, boss. Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to stay around too. Mine was short-lived, but I was vicarious living through you every single Saturday.
Yeah, I'm glad, man. I'm glad.
Skyler, for a guy like you, there are a lot of recruits that JD and I both have been around in sports media that when they look at a program, they put their foot down and say, I'm only playing this position, whether it be quarterback or running back, receiver. Guys that say, I've always done this, I'm always going to do this, period. I'm not coming to your school if I can't. Mm-hmm. You don't seem like one of those guys. Was that ever your mantra, or do you just want to improve your team, help your team wherever they need it?
Yeah, I'd go with the latter there from your question. I always just looked at it from a perspective of trying to help the team out. I've just always wanted to win games, and I wasn't the kind of recruit that could, say, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. I couldn't pick and choose because I wasn't that kind of athlete, wasn't that kind of recruit. So I came into Tarleton State even, and especially when I came here at Baylor, I was going to do anything that the team needed me to do. I was going to go into any position that needed help because I was confident in my ability to play different positions and confident in my, own athletic ability and intellect of the game and to be able to learn different positions and such. And I just wanted to help the team win. I remember when I first came here, the first few weeks of being here, Coach Snow and Coach Rule came to me about playing safety, and I was all for it. And I ended up staying at running back and, being able to play special teams that year in 2019. And since the new defensive staff came in, I had connections with Coach Pallage, the safeties coach, and Coach Roberts, who's a defensive coordinator. And there was an opportunity there at safety to just help out and provide depth and provide a bit of, mature leadership there at that position. And I jumped at it, and I wanted to, learn as much as I could. I think it also resonated with me just being a future coach and wanting to learn as much as I could. I wanted to bounce around, and it wasn't a situation where I could put my foot down and say this is what I want to do. I wanted to learn. I wanted to help out the team for sure.
Yeah, talk about that. Someone like you being a graduate transfer, being someone who's older on the team. How crucial was that to have that kind of leadership in a season like this where everything was just up in the air for the duration of the entire season?
Yeah, well, when I first got here in 2019, we had such a strong, senior class. Sam Tecklenburg, Blake Lynch, JaMichael Hasty, all those guys. I know y'all know all those guys. We had such a strong group of leaders in that group, and I think that's what separated us from everyone in our conference, and everyone nationally really made us nationally relevant. Just how strong that leadership core and that senior class was. And I came in and saw how effective that leadership was, and it really inspired me. I know Sam Tecklenburg is my roommate. Thankfully, he had a great influence on me, and showed me what it really meant to be a full-time football player, full-time grown man, play grown man football, and what it took to really win at a high level in this conference. And I took that into this past year, and you recognize as an older guy how important leadership is from a player's perspective, and how, great teams really separate themselves through the players and the leaders they have as players on the roster, because it can't all be up to the coaches to provide leadership. It's got to come from the players on a daily basis. And, I hopefully stepped up, and I was able to provide some leadership, especially hopefully on the special teams end of things. And I know we got a great group of leaders coming back, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Skyler, from a Baylor standpoint, the Bears are so spoiled when it comes to father and son connections on the football program. I have never seen a team or a program with so many father-son connections, especially at one time. But for you, individually, working with your dad that closely with the football program, how cool of an opportunity was that?
It was really cool. I don't know if y'all knew this, but my dad was my high school head coach, and I know Garrett McGuire played for his dad in high school as well. They were both high school coaches, and both were hired at the same time by Coach Rule. And just the opportunity for them both to be hired at the same time was extremely special for both of our families. I've known the McGuires since I was a little kid. I used to watch them on I used to see Coach McGuire winning the state championship on Fox Sports, and I used to see Garrett there on the sideline and stuff. So, I knew Garrett, I knew Coach McGuire. For them to be hired was extremely special. For us to be, brought to Waco here just seemed like destiny. He's been one of my great friends since I've been here. He took me in, his family, when I got here, made me feel accepted and everything. And I really appreciate him, really appreciate Coach McGuire. And I think that's a testament to the family atmosphere that we're trying to create here at Baylor. I think Coach Rule really valued that. I think he valued, creating an environment that was accepting to everyone, and that really felt like family. And Coach Rule brought us both in, brought both of our families in, and gave me and Garrett both opportunities to really contribute to the team. And Coach Aranda has done the same thing. He really values family, and I think the Wetzels and McGuire still being here is a great testament to that.
So football is clearly in your blood. Mortel Award snub. I mentioned in the intro. We're not going to talk about that. What's next for you, boss man? I know you got the world at your fingertips in terms of what you want to do in the football world. What's next for Skyler?
Well, right now I'm trying to enjoy this time off, trying to enjoy this Christmas break. That season was a long one, and it was obviously a pretty rough one, mentally and physically. So I'm just trying to take some time off right now, learn some things, and break down some film for my coaching profession future. And I'll graduate in May with my master's degree. I'll be teacher certified, so that I have the opportunity to coach high school football if that's the route I end up wanting to take. Still going through some opportunities in my head, trying to weigh the pros and cons of everything. But I'm confident in my ability, confident in the opportunities that I'll get. And so I'll begin coaching this summer. Where and what level, I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure I'll know within the next few months, and I'll let y'all know for sure.
Can't wait.
Skyler, we've got some Bear games here. We play every day, and these are questions that we ask each guest and caller.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tailor your very first one specifically to you. True or false? In the year 2020, a former Baylor and Cornell football player by the name of J.D. Pickell was invited to try out for the Olympic bobsledding team to represent the United States of America.
Now, I don't know if that's completely true, but it would not surprise me because this guy can run. I don't know if y'all have seen him, but
he's true.
This is why we brought Skyler on.
He can run. He can run. I'm telling you, for a light-skinned kid, he can run a little bit.
This guy
Skyler.
was almost
Thanks,
an
guys.
Olympian.
That's really high praise.
Skyler,
Thanks,
we're
guys.
doing
Now, is this true though? Is that true?
that's true.
That's true. Whether or
How did you
not
pull that, JD?
So truthfully, at Cornell, there was they were looking for guys for the bobsled program and reached out to the guy who does the recruiting for them. And who knows what the odds are of making a team like that?
100%. Look at him.
But anyway,
If y'all were to see this guy in the weight room, you would not be surprised. I'm telling you.
Let's just keep the segment going. I love this. Thanks, Skyler. Thanks, Drake. You guys are giving me a lot of confidence right now.
All right, Skyler, we're doing Baylor's second best football player of the last decade to put on a Baylor jersey, because you can't put RG3 in there. It's just not fair. Mm-hmm. We've got Bryce Petty or Sam Hall. That's our first matchup today. Well, who are you going with there?
I'm a huge fan of both. Sam Hall, coming from Katy High School, he played safety. I was a huge fan of him growing up, watching him come up as a aspiring safety. So I'm a huge fan of Sam Hall, but I've got to say Bryce Petty because he was electric.
Yeah. Spencer Drango or Terrence Ganaway?
Interested to hear this one. I'm very interested to hear this one.
Oh my gosh, both great players. Saw Terrence Ganaway play in the Alamo Bowl. Saw Spencer Drango. Have met him. Man, I want to say Spencer Drango because that's just how my mind works. Offensive line, you can't win unless you got great guys up front. So I'm going to go Spencer Drango.
Spencer Drango.
Good take.
Baylor and TCU play a big men's basketball game in Fort Worth tomorrow. What's the final score of that one going to be?
My goodness. 72 to 68.
Oh, my gosh.
Nail biter.
Skyler, you got TCU giving them a run.
We'll have a close one, a rivalry game, but I think the Bears pull it out.
I like it.
On the road.
I'm behind that.
And then a bunch of new coaches coming in for Baylor next season. We got to give them restaurant recommendations. Where's your number one in Waco?
My number one spot in Waco, I always tell people, is George's.
There you go.
Let's go, Skyler. That was mine. Look.
Yes, sir. Can't go wrong with George's. Shout out to George's.
Look, George's the way to go. Double O, or what is it? The Big O. You can't beat
Big
that.
O.
Big
That's
O.
right.
There it is.
Come on.
Sure.
Skyler, man, come on more often. Why haven't we done this yet?
I love Baylor and love football as much as y'all do, man. I appreciate your work, appreciate y'all's ambition and y'all's passion for this. I really do. And anytime y'all wanna have me on, I'm game for it.
You're the man, Skyler. Thanks, boss.
Sir. Absolutely.
Former Baylor football player Skyler Wetzel. Thanks so much for coming on, JD. Man, what a great land. He was awesome.
He's awesome. He's a great guy. I'm excited to see what he does in the coaching world because he's going to be something big for sure.
All right. We've got the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line open, and man, they're flooding in that J.D. Pickell, after this show, immediately, Michael from Dallas says you have to go get a gut pack right after this.
Okay.
From VTEX. Garrett Geiger says, go Texans. Tarleton baby, a little Skyler Wetzel shout out.
Love that.
Jack Wheeler, send them to Shorties or Taco Z.
Ooh,
Shorties
Taco Z is good. Taco Z and